screen. Yeah, we're going to learn the subject pronouns with the AR verbs. In Spanish, there's 3 types of verbs. If you were going to look up in a dictionary, every verb would either end in the letters AR or ER or IR. The most common of the AR verbs are the most common. They're the ones there's probably more AR verbs than there are the other 2 kinds of verbs. And so you'll see some words like hablar, which I have down here. Let's look at a few more that we see. Buscar, capturar, cuidar, escapar, esperar, replicar, caminar, estacionar. Anyways, you get the idea. There's lots of verbs that end in AR. And what's nice, if we learn a pattern to use with the subject pronouns that go with this, remember there's the subject pronouns and we have 6 different conjugations with all verbs. With the AR verbs, there's 6 different conjugations or verb endings that we would use. And so if we could learn how to do one AR verb, then we'd be able to do hundreds, maybe even thousands of AR verbs. And because it would just follow that one pattern that we've learned. Okay, let's go back. Let's talk about the subject pronouns. Number 1, yo, that means I. Well, we could take any AR verb and we would cross off the last 2 letters of the AR and we'd put an O. So if you look down at the chart below, I have yo, and then with hablar, I crossed off the AR. I don't have that anymore, and I put an O. And so I have yo hablo, that means I speak or I talk. And with any verb that ends with an AR, if we cross off the AR and we put an O, that means I do the action of that verb. Well, number 2, we have tu, and that means you familiar. You familiar would be somebody that's your friend or a relative, that's a peer, somebody your own age or somebody that's younger than you. We would cross off the AR and we would put the AS ending. So we can look down here and we have tu. We cross off the AR, we put AS. We got tu hablas. You speak. And so we could take any verb and cross off the AR and put an AS, and that would mean you do the action of that verb. Then we have a bunch of 3s. El, ella, usted, it, the name of a person like Juan or Maria. Same, we would cross off the AR, we put an A. All 3 of those, all of the number 3s would have that A ending we put on it. And so we could do that. So I cross off for el. Cross off the AR and put an A. El habla, he speaks. Ella, I cross off the AR, I put an A. Ella habla, she speaks. Usted, I cross off the AR and I put an A. Usted habla, you formal. Somebody I want to show respect to, somebody I don't know, somebody that's older than me, somebody that has a title, you speak. 3, it speaks. I don't know, the dog speaks, I guess. Well, we don't have a word for it, but we'd cross off the AR and we'd put an A, and that'd mean it speaks. Well, let's look at number 4, nosotros, we. So nosotros, we that are masculine, or we that's a mixed group, we would cross off the AR and put AMOS. So nosotros hablamos, we speak. Nosotras, that's we that's feminine. So that's we with only girls that are as members of the group. We'd cross off the AR. We put the same ending of AMOS. That would be nosotras hablamos. Vosotros, what they use in Spain. Not that important for us around here, but vosotros is you, that's plural, that's masculine, that's from Spain. We would cross off the AR ending and we put ice, A with an accent, IS. So, vosotros habláis. You all from Spain speak. Vosotras, you all that's plural, that's feminine from Spain. We'd cross off the AR, we'd put A with an accent, IS, and that would be vosotras habláis. You all from Spain, you all girls from Spain speak. Ellos, that means they, masculine, or they that's a mixed group. We would cross off the AR, we'd put an AN ending on it. Ellos hablan, they speak. 6 with ellas, ellas they, but that's only they that are feminine. So there's only girls in that group of they. They speak, we cross off the AR, we'd put an AN, ellas hablan. Finally, we have ustedes, all of you, you all, you plural. We cross off the AR, we put AN, and we would end up with ustedes hablan. Okay, well, we're going to do an activity right here where I'm going to give you different verbs. A lot of them you don't know. Uh, these are some verbs that we would find in our lessons with the jokes and that are AR verbs. And so, number one in lesson 8, we could say, I look for. That's how we'd say it in Spanish. Well, we have buscar. So I would be yo with buscar. We would have to cross off the AR and we would put the A ending and we'd end up BUSCO, yo busco. Let's do number 2 together. You familiar capture. So that would be you, my friend, or my relative, or somebody my own age, or somebody younger. You capture. We have tú. We would cross off the AR and we would put the ending of AS, tú capturas. Okay, all right, let's go back and do number 1. And I go busco. Anyways, that's the idea. So what I would like you to do, look at 3 through number 19. So I picked some verbs that come from the jokes that we're doing. And I'll pause the video, and on your little worksheet that you have, write down the answers. And then we'll come back and go over and make sure you've got them right. Okay, so I'm going to pause in 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, we're back. Number 3, he takes care of. Well, care would be cuidar. El, we're going to cross off the AR. And since it's el or he, we would put the A ending on it. El cuida. Cudra. Number 4, we escape. Nosotros. Well, nosotros with we. That would be, we put the AMOS ending on it. So it would be nosotros escapamos. They wait or they hope for. That's using the verb esperar. It ends in an AR. For ellos, the ending we would do for ellos is an AN ending. So we would go ellos esperan. Cross off the AR and we have an AN. I reply. Well, it ends in an AR. So we find yo. We're going to cross off the AR and put an O. Yo replico. We put the O ending on. Well, lesson 7, you familiar. Well, you familiar would be the equivalent of to. We put the AS ending on it. So it would be tú caminas. She parks. She, that would be ella. We put the A ending on it. So we get rid of the AR and we put the A ending on it. Ella estaciona. We feminine. That'd be nosotras. We watch or we look at. To look at would be mirar. So we're going to cross off the AR and we put AMOS. Nosotros miramos. They feminine. Well, they would be ellos or ellas. It's feminine, so it's ellas. Ask a question. Preguntar is to ask a question. So we're going to cross off the AR and we put in AN. Ellas preguntan. Number 11, I terminate. I finish. Well, yo, we cross off the AR, we put the O ending, and it'd be yo termino. Well, let's go and do the verbs that were in lesson 6. You familiar. That would be like tú. Answer is contestar. Well, we cross off the AR and we would put the AS ending. Tú contestas. You formal. You formal would be usted. We want to show we're talking to somebody with a title or somebody we don't know. And we want to show respect. You touch. Could be touch or play an instrument. In this case, it's probably play an instrument. So that's tocar. We're going to get rid of the AR. And the ending we'd put on for you formal, which like usted would be just an A. Usted toca. Let's get the verbs out of lesson 5. You and I cross. Well, we have you is tú, y yo is I. You and I. Oh, well, this is a little bit harder. Now we said that, let's go back up here and look. We said yo is one person and two is one person, but now we're combining them. So we have you, which is two, and I, which is yo. So what word do we have in English that is the same as is the equivalent as you and I? If I say you and I, would that be I, you, he, she, we, or they? Well, you and I speak would be like they. I'm sorry, would be like we speak. You and I speak, well, anybody plus I. So if we have any two people or more than two people and we have I as part of that group, well, then that would be we. Anybody plus I is we. So now we're going to have to put the ending on that we would for nosotros because, well, you and I is actually nosotros. So we've got you and I cross. That's cruzar. We're going to cross off the AR, but you and I, now we have the two people. It's we. I'm going to put the AMOS ending on it. Tú y yo cruzamos. So number 15, you plural. Well, that's all of you, more than one person. That would be ustedes. Demand or command would be demandar. We're going to cross off the AR and we would put the AN ending on it. Demandan. Ustedes demandan. Número 16, I arrive. To arrive is llegar. I is yo. Well, to say I do anything with an AR verb, we're going to cross off the AR and put an O. Yo llego. Número 17, you familiar, greet. You familiar would be tú, and greet is saludar. Well, you greet, we would cross off the AR and we would put an AS. Tú saludas. 18, it signals or it points to. Well, that would be señalar. We don't have a word for it. And so to just do it, we're just going to cross off the AR and we would put the ending that means it, and that would just be an A, señala. 19, we observe. That'd be nosotros, observar. Well, we're going to get rid of the AR, and with nosotros, we would put the ending AMOS. Nosotros observamos. Well, that's kind of the ending of the lesson. Quick review. We have verbs, some verbs in Spanish end in AR. If they do end in AR, there's a pattern. And the pattern is yo, we'll cross off the AR and put an O. Tú, we'd cross off the AR and put an AS. El, ella, usted, it, or a name, we'd cross off the AR and put an A. Nosotros or nosotras, we'd cross off the AR and put AMOS. Vosotros or vosotras in Spain, which is not that important to us, but if we were going to do it, we'd cross off the AR and put A with an accent, IS. And then ellos, ellas, ustedes, we'd cross off the AR and we would put AN. Well, if you're interested in learning Spanish by jokes, songs, internet videos, Spanish stories, and Hispanic culture, well, you can go to this link that we have down here, which is https www.spanishmadefun.com with a backslash. Well, I'll see you at the next lesson. Adios.